I like to stick in the affordable housing price point. Why? Because when I go to resell the property in the future, or if I ever need to resell it, it's in the affordable housing bracket. Also, when I'm underwriting my properties, I always underwrite for 2 exit strategies. If exit strategy 1, let's say PADSPA doesn't go as planned, what is exit strategy 2? So you need to have your best case and your worst case scenario, okay? So going back to what I said, this lady bought a property in a HOA. She wasn't really crystal clear on her buy box. This is why I'm telling you guys, it's super important to create your buy box. That is the first thing you do for whatever exit strategy that you're looking to accomplish it. She didn't create her buy box. She got excited. She got impulsive. She bought a deal from a wholesaler in an HOA, and literally 2 months into business, she ended up shutting it down. She got shut down, excuse me, from the HOA. Letter on the door, hey, you can't do pad split here in the community. Okay, no big deal. So we jump on a phone call, and so she said, yo, Javier, how do we get this problem solved? Okay, here we are. Here I come in with my cape on, the superhero, and I said, look, I know it's not the sexiest deal for you to keep your $70,000 investment in this property, but you can either sell for a loss, which that's stupid. Don't do that. Hold the property is my recommendation. You can sell for a loss, or being that you're in a regulated zone short-term rental market, put this property on the Airbnb market. Hold it, let it at least stabilize, recoup some of your cost, and maybe 5 to 7 years from now, you can sell the property and turn it for a profit and get all your money out that way. Or you can refinance in the future when you have enough equity. So she said, okay, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So she ended up signing a contract with my short-term rental management company. Now we're about to take over. We do everything from A to Z, and we're going to put the property on Airbnb, VRBO, all the major short-term rental sites. My team's going to put all that on there, right? So the good thing for her, even though she didn't underwrite this property, it didn't seem like she underwrote the property at all as far as like what she could do with the property. So good thing that there is a second exit strategy for her on this property, which is Airbnb. Long-term rental isn't going to work because she would be losing money. PADSPA didn't work, obviously, because she got shut down by the HOA. And the next best option is Airbnb. Now, I'm going to deep dive further into, in today's market, what you need to have in an Airbnb and where you need to buy for you to be able to have a successful product. A lot of you guys have probably been watching my content. You've probably been hearing me talk about you need to have the uniqueness. I want you guys to drop a comment below and tell me, what do you think makes a property unique on Airbnb? What markets do you like to invest into and why? And I'm going to deep dive a little bit further once we get to the property on how to safeguard your next Airbnb investment. That way you are taking down what I like to call 100K properties. For my Airbnb buy box and my PADSPA buy box are 2 different things. But this is how this all started. We had a seller, or owner, of a property who's in distress situation because they bought a property in an HOA, which I tell you guys, don't buy in HOAs for PADSPA. It just is not going to work. It doesn't matter if it's $8 HOA. It doesn't matter if it's voluntary. It's not going to work. Are there people doing it in HOAs? Yes. So when you see this video, I don't want you to think like, oh, well, my buddy Bob's doing it in an HOA successfully. Yeah, you're right. But that doesn't mean he's not going to be shut down. That doesn't mean it's scalable. Make sure if you're going to put all this time and energy and resources and money into a property, that is, you're running a scalable business model, first of all, and you're running in regulated zone markets, right? For Airbnb and or PADSPA. So PADSPA, you want to make sure that you're not an HOA. That's the biggest thing. Airbnb, you want to make sure you are in a regulated zone market for Airbnb. How do you find that out? You don't take my advice for it. You don't take anyone's advice for it. You actually talk to the city or county that you're in and ask them what the ordinance is. Go to Google, step 1, and type in zoning department, and then give the zoning department a call and ask them if they can email you, or is there a website showing what the ordinance is for short-term rentals. Every county and city is different. So once we get to this property, I'm going to deep dive about about how this went from pad split to Airbnb. So for you, you know that this content is driven for, it's a pad split property that is now getting converted into an Airbnb, and the reason why is because the HOA has shut the owner down because they can't do pad split in this community. But it is zoned and it is legal for them to do short-term rental. So we're making that conversion for her. We're going to stabilize that asset for her. This one isn't really going to be a cash flow play for her, and I'll get a little bit more into that once we get to the property and why. But we're at least going to be able to stabilize it, make sure all her fixed and variable costs are covered, and it'll be a win for her because she still gets tax depreciation, she still gets loan pay down, she's still going to have future leverage, so she can do like a cash out refinance or get like a PML to pull out her equity. She can sell the property on seller finance if she wants. There's still all these benefits that she gets the REIT from still owning and holding the asset. In a situation like this, I would never recommend someone to sell the property.